It is now several hours since I walked downtown, and I'm ready to walk back, starting here at the Hotel Saskatchewan. It's clouded over in the last few hours. It was bright sunshine on the first part of this walk. Cloudy now, still cold. Not as cold as it was, but still well below freezing. I haven't checked the temperature, but it was only supposed to go up to about -9 Celsius, so I expect it's quite chilly. Since I walked along Victoria before, I thought I'd walk straight down and walk along College this time. Blessed Sacrament. Oh, it's even trying to snow a little bit too. Some of the work they're doing over there. Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church there. Yeah, it is snowing a little. Or sleeting or something. Anyway, we'll just go straight down Hamilton here. Sidewalk's probably pretty good along here. Most of the way anyway. And then I'm sure College is pretty much free of ice. Got a lot of work done. Edit. That's all I was doing. Edit. Three different projects I'm editing simultaneously, so a lot of words. Words. I'm so sick of words. That is, of course, from My Fair Lady, but I often think of it as my theme song. I'm not really sick of words. I love words, but after a few hours of them, you start to think, words. What are they good for? Absolutely nothing. To draw on an entirely different song. Although not that far off era-wise, I guess. My Fair Lady, what, early 60s, late 50s, somewhere in there? The actual stage musical, I think, was late 50s. The movie was in the 60s. And of course, the other one was, well, it's not all entirely good here. Corners are often the worst. Aldane House there at one time was the offices of Morris Schumacher, well-known lawyer and friend of my wife's family, and I knew him a bit. I knew his wife much better, Jackie. She was a really good friend of the family and used to come to birthdays and things. She died a few months ago. So this is Hamilton Street. No, this is Scar Street we're walking down. What am I saying? I should know. We have a condo up here in one of the buildings. I'm distracted at the moment because I have something in my eye. I would have been heading back a little sooner, but unexpectedly I noticed that I always get my hair cut in the Hotel Saskatchewan, and I noticed that the barber was free. So I struck while the iron was hot and got my hair cut. I needed to do it, and this way I don't have to make a special trip for it. Although I will be back down here on Thursday. I'm meeting someone at the hotel at noon, or thereabouts on Thursday, so I have to come down anyway, but now I don't have to worry about the haircut. I'm also interviewing somebody that day for the podcast earlier in the day, so a few things happening that day. A lot of people walking around right now. Ooh, police car. School bus. I don't know why he waited. Oh, there's a car coming. That's probably why. I thought he was waiting for me, which seemed overly cautious, considering how far away I was. I don't even know what this building is. I walk by it all the time. Offices, that's all I know. This is Central Park over here, but not the famous one in New York, obviously. But it's our Central Park. Chartered Professional Accountants and Business Advisors, LLP, is one thing that's in there. It's just called Central Park Place. I hope this snow isn't an accumulating amount. I don't want to shovel anymore at all. I want it all to melt. Sooner the better. I am done with winter. And it is spring, but you wouldn't know it at the moment. Still, it's inexorable. The snow will melt. Things will get warmer. That was my knee again. It hadn't bothered me for a while. And then all of a sudden, just then, I did something wrong and it stabbed me. When I first moved to Regina, and there was a restaurant on this corner that I ate in a few times. It was kind of a nice little, it was in an old house, I think, but it had been turned into a restaurant a long time ago. And then it went away. They tore it down. And then for a while, there was a sign here that said they were going to build like tiny condos, like really small ones on this corner, but it never happened. And it's been a vacant lot now for a long time. I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was a very popular lunch place when I first came to Regina. We were living over here. This is where we have the condos in this building. College Court. The first one built facing College Avenue is called College Garden. This is College Court, and the other one is College something else. So the first one was built in 95, ours was built in 97, so we moved in right after we were married and lived there for a long time until we changed places with my mother-in-law. She got older and couldn't manage in the house. She moved over here, it was all on one level. We moved into the house and we've been there ever since, but we still own the condo in here. College Court. Straight ahead of us, of course, is the college building, Regina College. The original version of the University of Regina, and it still belongs to the University of Regina. Recently renovated at great expense, and a great thing, great project that was. Along with Dark Hall, which is once again one of the finest auditoriums in the city. I did a walkthrough on their grand opening, but oddly enough, I haven't been back for a show. I haven't seen a performance in there except for that opening weekend, which kind of surprises me, but it's the way these things go. This used to be a house, now it's a lawyer's office. This is the original College Garden, the first of the 3 condos they built on this. This used to be where Central Collegiate was, one of the oldest high schools in the city. One of the original high schools, I guess. But it was torn down, I think it was happening not long after I moved to Regina. So in the late 80s or early 90s, it got torn down. There's the college building. Conservatory of Performing Arts is in there. And over there is Dark Hall. Most of these used to be houses but are now businesses. This is a funeral home here. Ow! 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 That was my knee again, just out of the blue. Well, that hurts. I have no idea what's doing it. Anyway, I'll carry on. Dark Hall, as I said. That's the new credit union building over there. Trying to figure out exactly what the motion is that triggers that, and I don't know what it is, which is why it keeps catching me by surprise. If I knew what it was, I would not do it. There it went again. Let's stop and flex it a little bit here. This used to be a funeral home, but before that it belonged to Mr. Dark. I can't remember his first name, who was the one whose donation and sponsorship led to Dark Hall, which is why it bears his name. Now, I'm not even sure. Stonehall Castle. The interior is done up like a medieval castle, and you can rent it for things, I guess. I've never been in there. It's been unfinished on the outside for a decade now, I would think. Very weird, anyway. Now I'm gun shy, or knee shy, expecting my knee to jab me again at any moment. Building the new pool over there. This summer I'll be able to go over and you'll be able to see it again. I walked by it a couple of times in the fall. The big water slides. Apparently they're talking about putting in an elevator for the water slides so that people who can't manage the stairs can still go up and enjoy the water slide, which I think is a great idea. This one is still a house, I believe. I've been in it. It's very nice. This one I've been in too, but I don't think it's a house anymore. That was my knee again. I think it's just a business now, but for a while it was a house and a business. Boy, I may not walk tomorrow. I'm worried about this knee, the way it's acting up. Hello, someone. Miriam? Hi, Miriam. This building house belonged to a brewery family and was very famous at one time. It's been heavily renovated, and I don't know if they still live in it or not. It's a doctor's office. Had a hairstylist in it at one point. This is an old apartment building. I've been in one of those too a long time ago. I knew a guy that lived there. It's so weird. I mean, my knee feels fine right now, but there's something I do and I don't even know what triggers it. And it becomes extremely painful for a moment, and then it goes away. Hopefully it takes care of itself. I don't want to have to go see the doctor. Royal Saskatchewan Museum over there. Regina Symphony Orchestra is in this old house. It's now just offices, like most of them are. Which is a shame. I would love to have a house that looks like that. I like that, sort of the brick, and this one too I really like. But neither one is a house anymore. And then when I mentioned the Shumiachers, this was their house on this next corner. I hear it's been sold. Knew it well. Been to many a dinner party there and various things. There's a great space for receptions and stuff. And in fact, our bridal shower was held here in the Shumiachers 25 years ago. 30, well, like 26 now, I would think. So I hope whoever has bought it takes good care of it or does something interesting with it. My wife thinks it would make a great restaurant, but I don't think that's in the cards. Almost back to Albert Street here. Hopefully we hit the light just perfectly and don't have to wait too long. Hopefully my knee doesn't cripple me up as I'm trying to get across the intersection. Because so far, 2 of the intersections I've crossed was right when my knee decided to act up. Which is unfortunate timing. Oh, we got lots of time here. Just now, cars coming through from that direction. So again, those are the Saskatchewan government telephones, the original one. This was the second SaskTel building. And the current one downtown is where my wife works. Used to be somebody we knew really well whose house was on that corner, but the house got sold and then torn down, which annoyed us because it was a great house. It was actually a heritage property, but they claimed it was in too bad a shape, and I guess I don't know, but we didn't think it was from what we knew of the house. But anyway, it was a shame. You hate to see places you know really well, that belong to people you knew really well, vanish like that. It's like, another memory gone, fading into the past, people you knew. I mean, we'll all get there eventually, but I don't plan to disappear and fade into the past anytime soon, but, time waits for no man, as they say, or woman. There's always a nasty wind by this building because it's taller. So I don't know what I'll do about walking tomorrow. The way my knee's going, I'm thinking, wonder if I should give it a rest. Or I might do a walk like I've done before, where I walk to rehearsal down at the Union Hall. This isn't bad as long as you stay off of the sidewalk right along here. There's snow on this side. The sidewalk itself is solid ice. Well, you can only do that up to a point. Now I have to risk it. Once you get past the corner, the rest of it I know isn't all that bad. My gloves aren't even heavy enough for this weather. They're my lightweight gloves, and you'd think on the first day of spring they'd be enough, but no, you would be wrong. This is terrible. Up here's where they're building the new house. I presume they'll get it finished up this summer, once we get into the peak construction season, which is when we'll be having an addition built on the back of our house. Very small, it's like 67 square feet, but it'll have a downstairs bath in it, half bath. This is quite a large project here, and again, that was a house I was never in it, but I knew who lived there. And it was a heritage property too, but again, it's too far gone to save, according to whoever makes these decisions. Airplane going over. My gimbal decided not to follow that very well when I pointed up. Almost home. Oh, that wasn't my knee, that was ice. Lots of ice along here. And then some nice bare pavement, punctuated with ice. I'm afraid the sidewalk in front of our house is not very perfectly cleared. It has beaten down snow on it, which of course turns to ice. When it warms up, I'll put some salt on it. Maybe tomorrow. It's supposed to be warmer. Get it started on the melting process. Hurry it along. Although even that, if you have bare pavement, they all, of course, slope down towards the street. The sidewalks do. So when you get the big piles of snow in the yard, melts, the water flows across the sidewalk and then freezes, and sometimes that's the absolute worst because it's just a thin layer of almost invisible, very slippery, smooth ice. So you take your life in your hands a little bit, doing what I'm doing right now. Doesn't do to stride along without being cognizant of the hazards. I see people doing it, and I see people jogging, which to me is terrifying. But jogging is not something I will be taking up again. Walking is my speed now. I did try it for a while, but it was too hard on here's my knee bothering me today. So, okay, we will stop right here. Thank you for walking with me. Probably back in some fashion tomorrow. And maybe it'll be more spring-like, who knows. Bye for now.